Welcome to the Nexadata product overview. Let's start by transforming a large data set using natural language. It's important to note that normally you'll have size limitations with spreadsheets when playing with large data sets or having to know Python or other code when using other platforms. But what you see with Nexadata is in words that are very, very logical and natural, and business users are able to engage with this data set. First, you see here, we're filtering the measures column when there's a value of sales. Likewise, when I go to my scenario column, I'm going to filter by any time we're looking at the budget. Now, let me draw your attention to the product column. What you see is two sets of numbers that are delimited by a dash. What we're going to do here, again, using natural language, is create two columns. We're going to call them SKU family and SKU number and separate them based off of that delimiter dash. We see that represented here. And again, millions of records and rows are able to be done in a matter of less than a second. What we're going to do next is start adding some conditions to this data set, or what we're calling mapping groups. Now, if you recall, the SKU family was represented by a three-digit number. And what we're going to do is add a rule that says that any time that that SKU family is represented by 100, we're going to change that to colas. Likewise, we'll add another rule that says that anything that is not colas will be represented by intuitively non-colas. We'll go ahead and save this. Now that we have this mapping group, we'll go back into the data set and we'll add these conditions and these rules that we created. And you can see that here. As I click into this last transformation, currently it's represented by 100 in SKU family. I'll go ahead and point to that mapping group that I just created with those two rules. And once I give it a name and tell it which column to map to, we'll go ahead and preview it and then go ahead and save it. Now let's go ahead and further engage with this data set now by layering on the time dimension. We'll go back into our mapping groups, and this time what we're going to do is focus in on the colas in the SKU family. But what we're going to do is use natural language to prompt it to only change for when the month is January. And so as I click that prompt there, you'll see that I can add the natural language of when the year column is Jan. Once we've set that rule, we'll go ahead and save that. And again, we'll go back into our data set, or what we call pipelines, to see that change represented with this newly revised mapping group. Now, as I see my cola mapping, you see that represented here. Now, end users have the ability to engage more rigorously with the data by using what we call our advanced mode. When you click on advanced mode, you can see some transformations that have been preset for you. First, let's just do a simple transformation of changing the SKU family column name, which we'll do here to just product family. And then what we're going to do thereafter is go back into advanced mode and we're going to pivot and sum based off of some various dimensions that we're looking at. So what you'll see here is that we're going to look at our product family, look at our year. So we're going to segment by month and we're going to sum in the far right that data column. And so by saving this transformation, what you see here is the product family by change in year, the different months, and you see a sum of that data. We've engaged now with this large data set. Now we're ready to have it be pushed out of Nexadata and to be consumed for analytical purposes. And so what we can do is click execute. And as we push this data set out, we can have it be pushed out into a CSV format. And so it's been downloaded here, and you can see how it looks, and then use that as the basis to actually do analysis, either within a spreadsheet environment or to be able to then be pushed to the application layer. Thanks for taking a look at Nexadata, Intelligent Data Quality Management.